Chapter 4, Getting Him Help. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. It was an amazing moment of relief, followed by the reality of not really knowing anything about mental health problems or how to best support my husband. But I did know that just having a high-level name to what my husband was going through did not solve that night's problems. I jumped back into mom and fixer mode. I got the kids to calm down and fall back to sleep, and then I moved on to him. Eventually, the two of us were standing in the middle of our home office as he was packing his work stuff so he could leave. Not knowing what more to say or do, the most random thought jumped to my mind. I remembered an episode of Grey's Anatomy where a visiting doctor had Asperger's. In the episode, the doctor became overstimulated by a situation and needed someone to hug her tightly to calm their nervous system. Could it work in this situation? I didn't really know, but it was worth the try. As I went to put my arms around him, fear filled me. I knew my husband would never purposely hit me, but would I accidentally get hurt if he tried to avoid or remove my embrace? Would the embrace make him madder? Luckily, it worked. At first, he told me to stop and let go, but I didn't listen. I swear I could feel the tension leaving his body. Slowly, he came back to me that night, which was a fantastic feeling. No longer was he trying to leave, and about an hour later, we fell asleep, and I was without any fear that he would be gone when I woke up. The next morning started a more difficult journey, convincing him he needed help. The main problem we were now facing was that he was not fully accepting that he was having mental health problems. He did not see that the reality his mind was making him see did not match with what was happening around him. For the next few days, I pleaded with him to find a therapist. Each time he said no, I felt more weight fall on my shoulders. 4 days later, I had had enough. I couldn't hold all the responsibility myself. I was so afraid that something terrible would happen and others would blame me for not doing enough to proactively help him. So I did the only thing I could think of. I called his mother. While it worked and she helped to convince him that he needed help, she was the last person I said anything to for months. He was mad that I told someone else what was going on. He was feeling ashamed and felt that I shouldn't be the one to decide when to share his story with others. I could feel his shame and embarrassment, and I didn't want to be responsible for creating more of those feelings in him when all I wanted was to help him heal. What I didn't realize was that keeping his secret would start to drown me. Soon he had an appointment with a therapist. It was a telehealth appointment with one of the big name therapy platforms. However, it was only an intake appointment, so no advice, support, or homework was given. It was all a normal process, but the main issue was they didn't schedule his next appointment until a month later. No, that was not going to work. He couldn't wait a month to really get started. Heck, I couldn't wait a month to see him get help. With my encouragement, he started to call local offices. However, I will say that the process of finding a local therapist shows a big problem in our mental health support industry. Over 2 days, he went down a list of therapists, calling around 8 offices. He left messages with all 8, briefly explaining his situation and requesting a callback. Only one office ever called him back. Can you imagine being in the middle of a mental health battle, feeling like the people who love you most don't care about you, and then the people you turn to for help never even return your call? The process of trying to get help shouldn't make you feel more unwanted or uncared for. Luckily, that one office did call him back, and he started going to appointments to get the help and support he needed.